we need more feet for the hens. Oh, Griselda, do leave those sovereigns where they are.
Won't last long, even if he do spend them.
I know that.
And he needs every penny.
I know that, too.
He do smile at them every time he comes.
Good. Now go into the kitchen. I don't want him to see your sulky face.
Don't he be so high and mighty with me? These all airs and graces nowadays. They'd best pull yourself up, my girl. A week now, past supper time every day, and he's gawking up the road till he comes. I tell you, one day he won't. Gentlemen marry ladies, not fishermen's daughters. These forgetting where they comes from and what they truly are.
Oh, no, Griselda, you won't spoil this for me.
A gentleman like Mr. Castallack ain't be going to marry the likes of he.
Marry? Marry me? Oh, Griselda, you're an old fool.
Janna!
Leastways no gentleman too proud to come for supper with he.
Mark?
Here. Dine with you here.
Why not?
Is it that important?
Of course. You come for nothing but this.
Well, this is something of an exception, wouldn't you say?
I'm entitled to know why you won't dine with me first.
You're not entitled to anything from me, my dear. I do as I please.
For 5 gold sovereigns.
Well, for nothing, it would appear, since you don't seem to want them.
What do you want?
You? Every waking minute. I wanted you the first day I saw you. Just as the first day I saw you.
Saw whom?
Damn your questions.
Will you come tomorrow evening?
I've been here every night for a week.
Have I exhausted you?
There's family business at Gweek that needs me.
Will you dine with me when you come back? Mark? I want an answer.
Dine with you? Here, in a Cornish farmhouse?
Why not? You make love in it.
When it's a question of where he dines, a gentleman is more particular. I'll not dine with you here, is that understood? Not where you supped with your husband and...
And your father.
Good day to you, Janna. And thank you.
London? Why?
They told me to ask in Penzance where he be gone, not why.
No, I wanted news of him. Any news. If he went anywhere from Devil, it was to Gweek.
I told he went to London 2 weeks ago.
All right, why?
God save me, I didn't say.
Oh, didn't?
What house keeps for him at Deverill?
Oh, she's no fool. She was lying to you.
Well, they wanted me to ask.
Hold your tongue.
Just because these warm the sheets for 2 gentlemen, your head be turned and these all...
Hold your tongue.
Bread's going sour. Will he bake tomorrow?
Give us this day our daily bread.
You've come at last.
For a second, I thought I was going to get a more agreeable welcome.
You went to London.
You thought you had the right to ask others where I'd gone?
Why not?
Said no word yourself.
You should have realized I was unavoidably detained.
Clairvoyance wasn't one of the gifts God gave to me.
No. Gave you others, though. Far more gratifying. I can hardly complain of his omissions.
Hmm? Oh!
So, have you an evening gown?
Why?
I want to dine with you.
Here?
God, Lord, no, in Penzance, at the Metropole. I've a surprise for you. Well, do you like it?
It's very beautiful. I've never had a present like it.
There'll be others. When we get to London.
London? Mark, why?
My cousin has died, Robert York. He's left me his town house. That's why I went to London. Well, you'd prefer it there, wouldn't you, rather than here?
Prefer what?
Damn it, that ring's not just a present. I'm asking you to marry me. Janna, don't be coy, you know that.
I know, and I know it's not possible.
Everything I want is possible. I told you, I said the first day I saw you, remember?
Yes, just as you said you wanted someone else.
Oh, you goose. Something. Penmarric. I'll have that too, one day. Will you be its mistress?
I'm already your mistress.
That's not enough for me. Marry me, Janna. Marry me.
This isn't my world.
I'll make it yours.
Mark, I'm not. I'm an ignorant woman.
Damn it, man, go away. I don't want a blue stocking.
You want someone who talks like a Cornish fishwife.
You don't? The devil with it if you did.
I'm 10 years older than you.
You are a child.
Your mother, your brother Nigel.
My family can go to hell. And one last word on my family, Janna. My father is dead. He's gone from our lives. We shall never speak about him again. Is that understood?
Yes.
So, answer. Will you come to London and marry me?
Yes, Mark. Yes. Yes.
You were a goer, I'll say that. Maybe you'd have married me, Janna, if I'd been a rich gentleman.
And a lot less ugly.
Well, you've sparked fire in a tinderbox, you know that.
Well, gossip will soon burn itself out. On the farm or not, Jared?
I'll give you an answer when I've prayed for God's guidance.
Well, I heard you taken up with religion. What does your wife think about that?
She knows God took me up. As it says in the scriptures, I have seen him face to face and my life is preserved. There's talk of you and young Castallack's father.
I'm not waiting for your prayers. You can tell me now. Do you want Rosalind or not?
I'll take it.
Thank you. Day, Jared.
Good day, Mom.
Yeah. Where the devil are you going?
To unpack.
No.
But I must.
No. That sort of thing just isn't done. Believe me.
Girl was laughing at me.
Why should she?
My clothes, they're old and hatched.
And by watching her, you made it plain you're ashamed of them.
Of course I am.
Tomorrow you'll see the finest dressmaker in town.
Will you be sleeping here?
You worry what a servant thinks of your clothes, and you ask that.
Oh, will you?
I shall have my own room until we're married. My man will find me there every morning. Discretion will be served, and nobody below stairs will give a damn where else I might have spent each night.
Oh, Mark. I'm afraid.
Jan, I'll show you the park, Bond Street, fine theatres, the best of restaurants. In a week, you'll be afraid of nobody and nothing.
At least her looks are passable. That's one comfort.
You can't be civil, Mamma. Please remember this is my house now. And furthermore, I do not need your permission to marry.
Am I to be given a glass of sherry in your house? Is Janna your real name?
My father called me Janna.
A French fisherman, wasn't he?
Breton.
Don't be pedantic, Mark. So why not Jeanne?
Cornish folk couldn't pronounce it.
Gentlefolk have no difficulty.
Mamma?
You worked for Lady St. Enedoc at Menherian, didn't you?
For 9 years.
Indeed. What as?
A scullery maid, housemaid, and finally personal maid.
A good position, I'd have thought. Why did you leave?
I was discharged by her ladyship.
She's an agreeable woman. How did you offend her?
By growing up and becoming someone her husband wished to seduce.
You succeeded, no doubt. Marriage is an idle occupation for a man. What do you propose to do?
I shall be working on a history thesis.
Your father was equally wasteful with his time.
That's all, damn it.
You shouldn't embarrass Mrs. Roslin by abusing a servant in front of her. Am I to be invited to the wedding, the Savoy Chapel, isn't it?
No, you're not.
At least you can still exercise some tact.
I see no reason to offend Janna with your refusal.
I don't approve of her. How could I? But things could be worse, I suppose.
How, Mrs. Castallack?
Hasn't Mark told you? I prefer to use my maiden name, Penmarric.
Of course. Forgive me.
Yes. I do believe you may acquire a certain air of gentility in time. God knows. There aren't many working women who could do that.
I'm sorry. You won't have to meet her again.
She's hurt and disappointed.
She's insufferable.
She wished us well when she left.
Because one day, Penmarric will be mine. She doesn't want that door closed to her. By God, she'll learn.
Are you marrying me to spite her?
It'll be mine, not hers.
Are you?
Did you see their faces last night at the theatre? Looking at you. Envying me. It'll be the same in Paris, Monte Carlo. You do want a honeymoon in France.
Of course, that's what...
Everyone declaring I must be the luckiest man in the world.
To have a wife who's 10 years older than you?
To be young, to be loved by the most beautiful woman they've seen. Janna, you are so wonderfully beautiful.
Mark, love me. Love me.
Dear Mrs. Castallack, I'm so happy for you.
Then I am expecting a child.
Yes, you are. There's no reason for concern, you know.
I have none.
Of course not, but it's a surprise, perhaps.
I thought it might have been
A malaise, as you said.
the food in France.
Yes, so regrettable. And to spoil your honeymoon.
No, nothing could have done that.
Bless you, of course not. Now it's proper fulfillment. Do you wish me to make the arrangements?
I'm sorry. Well, what arrangements?
The child will be born in London, I presume.
In Cornwall?
Well, to Daverill. You said that'd be our home.
This is our home, too. I mean, surely we'd be more comfortable here.
Perhaps, but not... No, I'm not happier. Mark, you are truly pleased.
Well, I admit being a father's a bit soon. Hang it. Of course I am.
Then we may go to Daverill?
Well, I suppose old Logan in Penzance can manage
He's
it.
too old for a doctor, and he's a snob.
What the devil's that got to do with it?
There's Dr. Salter in St. Just.
Country quack?
Of course. No one better. Oh, Mark, I'm dying to see Cornwall again. I must go back there. Just to breathe some of that Cornish air, walk on a Cornish moor, and sleep under a Cornish roof. Oh, Mark. You're part of it. We're both part of it.
Welcome back, Mark.
Cousin Clarissa.
And you, Mrs. Roslin. Oh, how crass of me. May I call you Janna, and then I can't make such an embarrassing gaffe.
No doubt you'll think of others.
Oh, don't be such a bear. He is an awful bear, isn't he? Well, he'll be more civil when he knows what I've ridden over to tell him.
Cousin Giles is ill again?
Oh, he does know. Oh, that really is too vexing. I rather fancied myself as being a bearer of good news. Oh, don't look so horrified, Janna, my dear.
Will he die this time, do you think?
Or the next, so Dr. Logan promises. Oh, she is shocked. You know, your naivety is really quite refreshing.
Penmarric will be mine, Clarissa. An adopted daughter cannot contest that.
You're welcome to the dreadful mausoleum. I don't want it. I'm bored with it. I'm bored with being bored. You really are very lucky, Janna. I'm told the working classes never have time to be bored. Oh, don't glare at me, Mark. I really don't disapprove of your marriage. A love affair with one of the lower classes can be most stimulating.
As the grooms at Penmarric taught you, no doubt.
Mark? May I disturb you?
What is it?
We see so few people. I thought...
It's not proper to entertain in your condition.
Would any of them call if I weren't pregnant? Mark, please. Only a moment.
A moment, then.
I'd like to visit Roslyn one day.
Why?
I miss it, I suppose. I did love it, Mark. And Dr. Salter says I may take a little exercise after lunch.
Absurd. You can't walk to Roslyn.
I'm supposed to languish on a couch. Is that what you want?
I want to work on this thesis without interruption.
Well, our baby's arrival will be an interruption.
God.
Mark, I'm sorry, but I must go. Jared's little son, Abel, has just died. And his wife said
My wife, Janna. My wife does not pay social calls on the likes of Jared Broslin.
Morning, Jared.
You're a fool to be driving a trap in your condition.
Nonsense, Jared. I was sorry to hear about the little one.
The book says, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy.
May I see Mrs. Ross?
She's in bed.
Griselda told me about the miscarriage. Jared, please let me do something to help.
The Lord himself is our keeper. We want no help from you.
Because you've taken up with Methodism. Oh, don't be a fool, Jared.
Chapel's part of it. But there's more, you'll see. Good day, Mrs. Castallack.
I warned you not to go. You've only yourself to blame.
You didn't forbid me to go.
No? Well, I thought I made myself clear. The man's become a nuisance. Takes his Methodism seriously.
Quoting text? Oh, don't be absurd, Mark.
Speechifying to minors. Working men have the same rights as us, that sort of thing. God's a radical. You're Wesleyan.
Jared a radical. How comic.
Why should you sneer at him? Besides, what he says is probably true.
You don't believe that?
Morally, I do. Thank God I realise it's not practicable. Never will be.
Must you go to Penzance?
Once a fortnight, as well you know. I dine with Michael Vincent, who is my lawyer and my friend.
Then ask him to dine with us here.
Salter tells me he's found you an excellent midwife.
Yes, but I want Griselda. I told you, I'd feel happier with her.
The woman's a servant, Janna. An impudent one at that. Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. Good night, my dear.
Griselda.
There, my lovely, there.
Get Griselda.
Mrs. Castallack, your husband
Send
agreed
this bitch away.
Brave, my lovely, be brave. Take a little time
You
now.
stupid
Mrs.
cow.
Castallack, I entreat you.
Hey, you bastard!
Castallack, in the name of decency, please.
Do something. Oh, do something. Oh, God. Oh, help me, you bastards. Oh, Griselda. Oh, God. Oh, God, stop it.
Stephen? Stephen, my lamb. Mark? Please tell me.
Perhaps you'd better tell me. How many children do you wish to have?
Oh, as many as possible, for I'm too old. You want that, don't you?
Do you think I want your pregnancies to keep me from your bed 5 months in the year? Do you, my dear?
Don't be absurd, Mark. What could people say?
Poor Castallack, of course. Poor Castallack. Whenever you invite the fellow to dine, there's his pregnant wife.
There's no risk of that. Nobody invites us anyway.
You mean the old party who teaches the 3 R's to village children in Morva? What about her?
She says she can come to Devereux twice a week. May she?
What the devil for?
To teach me genteel elocution.
There's colour in your cheeks now. The drive's done you good. Do you think our son's old enough to... Could the fearsome Griselda be trusted to look after him for one night?
Yes, she could. I suppose she could.
Or should we dine in Penzance? Stay the night at the Metropole?
Mark. Oh, Mark.
You cut along, eh? Clear off.
Mark, don't be cruel. What lovely flowers. Where'd you go?
Don't touch the filthy little brat.
Mark.
Look, she's sick. Can't you see that?
So much of it in Penzance. Wretches. Fever. Scarlet fever.
Recover.
Recover.
Strong.
Very strong. In a few days.
Indeed.
Quite well again. So sad. So unfortunate.
Did your best. Your best, I suppose.
Thank you.
Tell her?
Oh, not yet.
Of course.
Oh, no, please make sure she's not told about the baby. Not yet.
Stephen?
I'm the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. And he that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
As your lawyer, I am obliged to tell you that the death of your cousin Giles last week will make it possible for you.
Janna? Please, Janna.
I should have been there.
You couldn't. Salter told you.
It was my fault.
No, Janna, no.
Touching that horrible girl. I gave it to him. I gave it to Stephen. Oh, Mark.
You look better every morning. Salter says you'll be fit enough to go for a drive next week.
Will you take me to him?
Salter?
To Stephen?
Of course. You won't mind waiting a few months before we move?
Before we move?
To Penmarric. Vincent says there's still a lot to settle.
We're moving to Penmarric?
I told you, Janna.
No. Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, surely you didn't forget something as important as that.
Oh, no, I didn't forget. It's just that you...
I told you the day that
Yes,
Stephen...
yes. I remember.
Giles had died, that the estate, the house, everything was mine. You didn't forget something as important as that, did you?
No. It's just that you told me the day Stephen was buried.
Well, I thought it was important for us to think of the future.
Oh, you're right. Forgive me. I know it is important.
Thank you.
Only, Mark, I don't want to leave Deverell. Couldn't we... Must we...
We must do as I say.
Oh, please, try and understand why I can't...
I understand. Well, I think I do. Listen to me, Janna. The past is past.
No.
No, listen. I was 10 years old when I first saw Penmarric. And 20 when I first saw you.
And you wanted us both, I know. But for God's sake, Mark, ask me what I want.
You have no choice. You must want what we now have. I am now Mark Castallack of Penmarric. I am a man of influence, obligations, responsibilities. And you are my wife. Everything has changed, Janna. Do you understand? The past is past.
No. Stephen died here.
Well, then have another child. If that's all you can think of. But not here, Janna. Not here. In Penmarric.
Look at you. Who's a grumpy? Eh? It's an angel. I know. It's over there. Shall we look? Come on. So look at the baby. You see the baby?
You asked for a frank and thorough report, Mr. Castallack. There it is. Another engineer would tell you the same.
No doubt he would.
20 years ago, I remember, there were several hundred mines in Cornwall, all with good loads at bottom level. No more than 10 now. And the price of tin is dropping.
What if I've the capital to hold on?
Better let go, sir. Put good money to better use.
My cousin shut down the other mines years ago. I cannot close Sen and Garth.
Competition from the Far East impossible to whip, Mr. Castallack. Not with old machinery.
A capital outlay would deal with that.
Money won't buy men.
It always has.
Not now, Mark.
You know how things are, Mr. Castallack. In the past 10 years, a third of Cornwall's miners have left the county. And the other blackguards want more for less. That's the advice you pay me for, Mr. Castallack. Cut your losses and close down.
What about the men?
Labour relies on capital, sir. Goodwill's the parson's business, not yours.
Janna, you're looking well.
Thank you. What's been decided?
Mark, better tell you that. How's young Marcus? I saw you together in the garden.
Wonderful. Walking, shouting.
Splendid. And Mariana? You chose the name, of course.
I was reading Tennyson when I carried her. Is that too sentimental of me?
Motherhood suits you, Janna. You positively glow with it.
Mrs. Castallack, ma'am, a splendid house you've got here. Always admired it. In the grand style. And first rate for entertaining, no doubt.
I suppose it could be. What have you advised my husband?
Well, now, ma'am, that couldn't interest a lady like yourself.
Please don't patronise me. Have you told him he should close Sun and Garth?
Good day, ma'am.
What the devil has it got to do with you?
There are men at Sun and Garth your family has relied on for 5 generations.
Has given. There are men at Sun and Garth who my family has given work for 5 generations. And now there's no tin and no work left to give.
You could call in another engineer.
Don't be a damn fool. That man you insulted was the third. He gave me the same advice as the others.
I knew a lot of those Sun and Garth men when we were children.
Don't remind me what you were. Remember who you are. You are my wife, Janna.
When? When am I your wife? When you go to Penzance without warning, when you stay away for weeks in Oxford, when you refuse to speak to me, when you say our children interrupt your precious thesis? When, Mark? When?
Women of my class have no part in men's affairs.
Women of my class know what it means to have their men out of work.
Is that all that distresses you? Well, your parish relief committee can provide them with food.
Mark, they want work! Will you tell them there isn't any?
Of course I shall.
Then God help you.
Listen to me, Mr. Castallack.
The devil I will. Does this windbag speak for you? When has he ever worked in the mine?
What did you, sir? I am counted with them that goeth down into the pit. I was a man who hath not strength without the Lord God of our salvation. He hath laid me in the lowest pit amongst you, in the darkness and the deep. The Lord hath made me one with you in your soul. I speak for the dogs who must eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. But I tell you, despair not, for you are the sheep of our Lord's pasture, and shall no longer be devoured by wolves. He is rising. Oh, Lord, the flood of thy anger is rising against the unjust and the unrighteous, and the labourer alone shall enjoy the wealth of his labour.
Yeah, it is Janna.
Whoa! No, down there, Jackie, that's right. You've a mind to pitch that stone at me, Jacob, my old love. Just you remember, I knew you when the wind was cooling your ass with the hole in your breeches.
Sinner entice thee, consent thou not. Surely the net is spread plain in the sight of the world.
Silly tongue, Jared Rossin. You can't preach tin into an empty mine. And the rest of you. Do we want to die down there for nothing? There's no tin left, and you know it. Jacob, is there? Turn your head away like a girl, but you know it's the truth, innit? Now, my husband's been honest with all of you and fair. He could have sent the agent down to tell you the truth, but that's not his way. Now, what more can he do?
I want my daughter to marry a rich man like Edith.
I know your daughter, John Tregarrick, and if I were you, I'd marry her off to the first fool that asked. Now, go home, all of you great fools. Go home. Now, my husband will do what he can, but I warn you, if you try and bully him, you'll find him more stubborn than half a dozen mules. I ought to know. I'm his wife, by God. Get up there. Come on, Cloud.
Medlin,
Madam,
did Mr. Castallack say what time he would require dinner?
this evening, madam.
Yes, of course, this evening.
I'm sorry, madam. I understood him say that he was dining in Penzance this evening and will be back in the morning. Perhaps I was mistaken.
No. Thank you, Medlin.
Madam.
Damn it, man, where are you? Afternoon, my dear.
Have you lunched?
Yes, in Penzance. Michael Vincent. I'm told he says I should be grateful for what you did at Garth.
Are you?
He thinks I've been working too hard, should take a holiday, that sort of thing. Shall we? I think I'd like to go to Italy.
Mark. Well, no, not yet. Mariana's too young for me to leave her.
What do we pay that nanny for?
It's not the same.
I can't see that myself.
Mark, I'm sorry. Sorry about Garth. I was afraid for you.
So you rode to the rescue. Bravo. Will you come abroad with me?
Can't we go next year?
Oh, next year, no doubt, you'll be pregnant again.
I thought you wanted children too.
Ah, damned if I want them at this galloping rate.
Other wives have a baby a year.
A gentleman's wife does not breed like a rabbit. Damn it, can't we have 1 year? 2 years to ourselves?
I haven't the time to wait.
Is that all that going to bed with me means to you?
Of course not. But such things aren't forever.
My point exactly.
My bedroom door isn't exactly closed to you.
Well, it damn well seems like it. As I said, 5 months in the year.
You knew at the very beginning I wanted as many children as possible before I was
Listen to me,
too
Janna.
old.
If you are pregnant again before Mariana is a year old, and don't ask me where I spend my evenings. If I can't have you, by God, I'll have someone else.
Damn your bloody arrogance. You've had your 5 sovereigns worth out of me. Now go and find a real whore if you want.
Must your foul tongue always remind me where you came from? I don't know why I bothered marrying you. You're a much more satisfying mistress. Pregnant again. White. Will not breathe like a rabbit. I'll have you. God, Alice, if you are pregnant, ask me where I spend my evenings. Can't have you. God, Alice. I don't know why I bothered marrying you. You're a much more satisfying mistress. Forgive me.
Philip.
Bang, 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 bang.
Excuse me, Mrs. Castallack. Pardon me, madam, but it's not my fault. How can I train Master Philip to be obedient when you never refuse him anything? Master Marcus and Miss Mariana notice these things and they think, pardon me, madam, but you spoil
Why have
the
you
child.
left the children alone?
Excuse me, sir, but Mrs. Castallack...
Well, they're making a devil of a shindy out there.
Because of Master Philip. I've just told Mrs. Castallack, pardon me, madam, but the baby's growing most...
Please don't babble. I suggest you go back to them. Hmm? Now.
Sir, madam.
That silly woman's right. You could spoil Philip. Take advantage of that later.
I don't think so.
No? No, you won't have to correct the mistake. I will. They're all, well, I suppose.
I think Marcus may be sickening for something. He's feverish and excitable today.
Oh, send for Salter if you're worried. Take a glass of Madeira with me.
Later, before dinner.
I shall be dining in Penzance with Michael Vincent.
Very well. I'll tell Medlin.
No need. I've already done so.
If you take dinner with Michael Vincent, would
Do you know
ask-
he told me? Michael, the Americans sell this Verdello under the name Rainwater. Curious people.
Would you ask him to dine with us one evening?
He knows you don't like entertaining. Embarrass him to accept.
You said you wished to hold a Michaelmas ball. I know it's a while yet.
Don't
Maybe
want all
we
that
should start
fuss,
making...
though, do you? Besides, I shall be in Oxford by then. The Bodley and I want to do some more research. The early Plantagenets, the influence of the great Charters. Sorry, I know that bores you.
I know too little about it to be bored.
I have plenty to occupy you here while I'm away.
Oh, I think so. There's the housekeeper's accounts, parish committee, a new book from Mudis.
And the children. If I've finished early tomorrow, shall we take lunch with them in the nursery?
Oh, thank you, Mark. That'd please them.
Good. I may be delayed, however.
Mark.
Janna.
Where's Mark? Tell me!
He's not here.
I know that. Where is he?
I couldn't say.
Won't say, you mean old bloody fool, Michael. Do you think I care that he's with some cheap whore down by the harbour? Tell me where...
Marcus is dying.
Dying? No. What's wrong with the little
A
fellow?
fever!
Janna, be calm.
In God's name, why won't you tell me? You afraid of betraying his confidence?
Quiet, please.
Oh, you are, and you think that more important than this?
No, of course not.
Michael, I beg you, please.
You'll find him at Landerian Avenue, number 12. It's about half a mile from here on the road to Land's End.
I've come to see Mr. Castallack.
Yes, madam.
Good evening. Can I help you?
My husband, our son.
Are you ill? Please, please sit down.
No.
Mama?
What is it, Rose?
Papa? Who's that lady, Papa?
No.
Right, they're coming.
Somebody running.
The gateman said...
Where are your gloves? And turn your collar down.
Too fast, Crowlers. Too damn fast. Put my mare in a sweat.
Move on.
Nothing. Nothing at all, my lamb. I said 'tweren't nothing. I told that young doctor. 'Tain't no more than a rash, I said, and so it is. Nettles or the like.
Will you require anything, sir? Perhaps Mrs. Castallack would like some.
What? No. Send those people to bed.
My God.
Janna? May I come in, Janna? Janna? Please? I want to talk to you. Will you let me explain?
No. Please. Please leave.
I was wrong. But I want you to understand. I met her before we... When I married you, it seemed only proper I should buy her a house, make sure they were both provided for. That was an end to it, I thought, until one day, quite by chance, I met her again in... For God's sake, Janna! For decency to look at me. Can you understand? The last thing I wanted was to hurt either of you.
Then how could you be fool enough to get her pregnant again?
Janna.
Don't touch me.
I could have married her, yes. But I didn't. I married you.
You married your mistress. And made a mistress out of the woman you should have married.
I wanted you. I wanted you totally. I still do.
But not exclusively.
Yes, I've told you that.
Why? Is she an unsatisfactory mistress?
Janna, she speaks kindly of you. It distresses her.
Good, so she should.
Very well, if it helps you to be flippant about it, I shall...
It would help, I suppose, if I could scratch her eyes out.
Janna, please.
She is an unsatisfactory mistress, isn't she? Oh, I know she's a nice, well-bred lady, but, what does she say in bed, Mark? Does she say the things I do?
Damn you. I won't have that old crone living in the house. She can have a cottage in the grounds. Oh, are we going to quarrel about that, too?
Griselda is my friend.
She's a servant. Since I pay her wages, I won't have her living in this house spying on us.
Will you see Rose Parish again?
We're bargaining now. You'll let that woman go if I promise not to see Rose.
Griselda may live in the cottage if that's what you want. Where do you wish me to go?
Sir, where have we been going on 3 days now?
I'm sure Miss Parish... Oh, no, Michael tells me she calls herself Mrs. Parish.
Janna.
I'm sure she'll make a better mistress of Penmarric.
You're going to cry again?
I cry, you shout. Neither of us should be so foolish.
I have told you I don't want a separation.
I wonder what she wants.
Well, it doesn't matter. I want you. I want you to stay.
For the sake of the children. How very selfless of you, Mark.
Damn the children. You should know that plenty of husbands stray. It seldom means much, and their wives...
Always forgive them.
If they're sensible.
Why can't I tell you to go to hell?
I am. In hell. All I know, all I can feel is that I want you. I can't lose you. Janna, if you can't love me now, at least forgive me.
Oh, you're such a fool. Of course I love you. How else could you have hurt me?
Forgive me. Trust me. Trust me.
I'm delighted for you both, Janna.
Is that why we haven't seen you for weeks?
Well, you know, I thought... I see a change in him now, I'm sure of it.
You're a good friend, Michael, but you're a bit of a busser, are you not?
Do you think so? Sorry about that. The new lease you're giving Jared is the same as the last.
Of course.
You could decide it at Penmarric just as well.
I wanted to see Rosalind again. I've waited all winter. I love it so.
2 months' time we'll be celebrating the Queen's Jubilee.
Oh, poor dear. So old. So long a widow. But all those children. Oh, Michael. That's wonderful.
Morning, John. Take her. Walk on, John. Come on. Walk on.
Have you seen Rose Parish?
In Truro, Mark asked me to arrange the house purchase.
I know. Is her child born?
A boy, Adrian.
Thank you. Help me down.
He's not been to Truro. He says he won't see her again. You must believe that, Janna.
Of course.
Everything's all right now, isn't it?
Have you got a pen? I'm sure Jared won't have more than a pencil stub.
You seem to be prospering here, Mr. Roslin.
Yeah. A man who can't get on may as well get off.
You didn't read that in the scriptures, Jared.
Ecclesiastes 7, verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
And the good book's sometimes wrong.
Yet it says, a scorner heareth not rebuke.
Are you rebuking me, Jared?
You've a fine family, I believe, Mrs. Roslin.
5 surviving daughters. Other men have wives who give them sons.
Well, that completes it, I think. Mr. Roslin, Mrs. Castallack wishes you to know that she'll be happy to renew the lease if you continue to prosper.
And why not? You'll not find a better tenant.
Good morning, Janna. Oh, hello, Michael. Long time since I last saw you. And Janna, dear, how's my philandering cousin? Can you keep the man at his books?
Morning, Miss Penmarric. Joss?
Your formality and condescension all in the same breath. How splendid.
Shall we go, Michael?
Thank you, Jared. Oh, Janna, would you tell Cousin Mark that Joss and I are to be married?
Why not, eh, Janna? Why not?
Why not? I'm sure you both deserve each other.
There's no call for that. Joss. Mark Castallack and his father had a taste for common folk. At least Miss Penmar's not getting someone from a St. Ives gutter. Out the way, Joss!
Was he surprised to see her?
Michael? He was upset, I thought.
I dare say. He's in love with her.
Poor Michael.
Or was. Till he discovered her in the harness room with a groom. Should have encouraged him. He's not a Penmar.
Or Castallack.
Yeah, second generation of middle class. Doesn't understand that families like ours must take fresh blood from time to time.
Are you trying to provoke me, Mark?
Really trying to put a little polish on what Joss Roslin said. Clarissa is a bitch, but you and I may not be censorious about her behaviour.
Michael says you won't be in Penzance for the Jubilee celebrations. You didn't tell
No,
me.
my thesis is to be published by the Oxford University Press.
Mark, that's wonderful. I'm so pleased for you.
Give me some standing in academic circles. Not before time.
But why should that stop you from being here?
There's another thesis I must start. Historian must be close to his sources. You'll excuse me, there's some work I must do.
Of course.
Well, perhaps you could come up to Oxford for a few days before the Jubilee.
But you've always said... Do you truly want me?
Not if the thought of it bores you.
Oh, no, please, Mark. Please.
May I come to your room later?
Well, one of you tell me what it is I've said that is so funny. Mark.
Wait, no consequence.
In that case, it cannot be so comical.
My dear, that sounds unconscionably priggish.
Oh, nonsense. She's got you on a point of logic. Well done, Mrs. Mark.
Thank you, Professor. And what is logical surely cannot be comical.
Because comedy, by definition, is the confusion of logic. Oh, Mark, my dear boy, why have you kept this jewel from Oxford?
Here. Now be a good fellow and explain to her.
Oh, very well. It's what you said about the pipe rolls.
I see. Is it so foolish not to know what they are?
Well, it's foolish to assume knowledge in the presence of those who know more.
Doesn't that sound priggish, my love?
You're quite right, dear lady. Quite right. And from now on, I shall always regard the pipe rolls as the finest example of medieval plumbing.
And if you don't tell me what they really are, Professor, I shall think you an ass for patronising a woman.
Janna.
Oh, no, she's quite right. But my dear Mrs. Mark, don't you bother your head with it. God never intended lovely ladies to pursue knowledge. He designed them for, other purposes.
Such as the gratification of man, perhaps?
Oh, Mark, you've got a racer here, all right. Quite right, dear lady, quite right. And if what my wife tells me is true, we should be congratulating you both.
Did I have to hear it from that insufferable...
I would have told you.
When?
For tomorrow, before I left.
Oh, I definitely would.
Don't be angry, Mark. I've been so happy here.
It's not just that. And tonight you were... brazen.
Oh, Mark, those nice old men were delighted. They're so envious of you. You've seen their terrible wives.
God, I have. You and damn babies. Will you ever have enough?
I want an army of them. When I'm old, like the Queen...
When's it to be?
In the autumn. Can you take me on to Penmarric tomorrow? Can you?
Damn you, Janna.
I know. Will you kiss me now? What are the pipe rolls? Thank you. You'll be back for the Jubilee celebrations.
No, I told you I couldn't.
We may have the bonfire.
Of course.
The tenants will expect to see you at the estate supper.
Well, not those who are in arrears.
It's your turn to choose his name.
Your boy, then, is it?
Of course.
Hugh, then, I suppose. Yes, Hugh.
You will be here.
Fathers are superfluous at childbirth. Very well. Merely for the christening, there.
Oh, you think that's not my chin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Michael,
Well,
please.
I think it's
Would you say that's
I think
mine?
he behaved admirably at the christening.
The photographer is here, madam.
Oh, we must fetch the other children.
No, Philip. Oh, you shouldn't have jumped in that pretty hat. Nanny.
Stop it! Stop it! Do you hear?
Oh, Nanny, can't we go downstairs now?
Who stamped on the pretty hat?
Philip did. Nanny! Sit back at me! I didn't. Nanny!
Marcus, what happened?
I want a glass of champagne. But I said I could.
Come here, my love. Oh, there.
I told you not to lay a hand on him. I can't do a thing with him. He's the troublemaker in the nursery. I've tried my best, but it's absolutely hopeless. I really
Take them all downstairs, Nanny. Now.
Hold my hand.
She struck him.
We have guests who expect us to entertain them.
Naughty. Good night, my love.
What's that?
Good night.
What colour's mine?
Bright red. Good
What
night.
colour am I?
Oh, yours is worse, my angel. Kiss me good night. Good night, my love.
May I have a glass of champagne?
Certainly not. Say good night to your father.
Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Papa.
Good night, children.
There. I'll come to little Hugh in a moment. Very well, Mrs. Kiss.
Goodness, no. Good gracious, you can't have any more champagne.
Oh, not good.
My God. A rack of an Anglican christening is enough to turn one Baptist.
Oh, Mark. I do so want another.
Another?
Another child.
Are you serious?
Of course.
I suppose I can't prevent you, short of denial. Why?
I shall be 40 in 2 years.
Then you have time to wait, haven't you?
No. Not before you no longer want me. You've grown away from me, as you've grown away from Cornwall. Why can't you admit that?
Then you have time to wait, haven't you?
No. Not before you no longer want me. You've grown away from me, as you've grown away from Cornwall.
Good Lord.
How are you, Cousin Maud? Slut. Is their child a bastard?
They're married. I wrote and told you, Mother.
There are times when other people's children make one question the wisdom of Providence.
What are you calling it?
Jeanne, my true name.
I remember your father was French.
Breton.
I hope you're both done with this sort of thing. 3 children might be thought proper. 4 borders on excess. Any more would appear vulgar indulgence.
The Queen had 9.
Exactly. May I now have a glass of Madeira?
What have they told you about Nigel?
His colonel wrote from the Cape. A great deal of nonsense about your brother's gallantry.
It's customary. One doesn't have to take it seriously.
I intended to bring this silly letter, but forgot. He was killed at Magas something.
Magas Fontaine.
Such uncouth names.
Mrs. Penmar, I'm so sorry. I know how you'll miss him.
Perhaps, yes. He was a gentle little boy. But I saw him so rarely after he was 2. With Mark, it was different.
Saw me 3 times in 12 years. Didn't give a damn about either of us.
I told Nigel he was a fool to go. He said it was a moral issue, whatever that is. Now I suppose you'll feel obliged to enlist.
The devil I will. All wars are an offence to common sense. And this one's worse. The Boers are right and we're wrong.
No, Mark, we can't be.
No, nothing about it, my dear. So, what about Nigel's estate? That's why you're here, isn't it?
No other interest would persuade you to invite me. He's left Gwickellis to me. I want no part of the Castallack inheritance.
Well, leave it to me then.
Black's an unbecoming colour. Thank God sensible people now keep their mourning short. Very well, you may have the wretched house.
I'll have Vincent arrange the conveyance.
And Nigel's money, such as it is, you'll need it. You are educating the boys properly, I suppose.
Marcus goes to prep school in 18 months or so. Philip soon after.
No, Mark. No.
It's a mistake to be sentimental about children.
What?
Excessive concern for them may be regarded as the result of low breeding.
You are a selfish, unfeeling, hateful old woman.
Be kind enough to call for the carriage. I think I'd prefer to spend the night at Penzance.
I shall be returning to Oxford at the weekend. I've been offered an academic post. Would you like me to tell you about it?
When will you come back to Penmarric?
When I have the time.
And the need.
Which you also feel.
Of course.
So, we are honest with each other?
It's your need that decides, though, not mine.
Naturally.
Unnaturally. You're as cold as your mother.
A paradox, my dear. Since we're talking of my need.
There's more for you in this house than my bed. Mark!
No, Janna.
I want to talk about the boys.
There is nothing more to say. They go to school when I return from Oxford.
Not Philip.
Particularly Philip. If only to save him from your suffocating affection.
Later, Mark. Please.
As soon as possible. Now, there's an end to it. Good night.
Can you see? Marcus, can you see? Is he coming? Not yet, you sleep pig. Pick yourself. What can you see then? Just a lot of people. That's all. Just a lot of people. Which one is he? Tell me which one. Granny, stop him pushing.
Please, Philip. Please, both of you.
Janna? Well, well, you young ruffian. So you got here. Splendid.
Boys, where are your manners?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
And say thank
Oh,
you.
not a bit of it. But I'd ease in a bit and rest if I were you. You won't miss the show.
It's good of you to let them watch from here.
I couldn't see it without them. I'm rather excited myself. I mean to see the new king in Cornwall. Come to that, it's strange to have a king again.
Again? Michael.
Yes, I know who can remember. Do you think there's anyone alive who remembers what it was like before the old queen?
Michael, did you ask?
What have you boys been up to since I was last at Penmarric? What news have you for a dull old lawyer, hmm?
Well, I'm going away to school. I'm going to school. I'm going to school.
Boys,
Pigeons.
behave yourselves. The king's coming. Do you think you're here to enjoy yourselves?
Michael.
You know you could have gone to the Mount for the royal presentation. Why
Did
didn't
you speak to Mark in Oxford?
Of course. Sorry, Janna, he wouldn't.
Did you tell him about the tutor you found?
Yes, but he said the boys would be
Not
better.
for both of them, for Philip, Michael, Philip.
It's no good, Janna.
You didn't try.
He got very ratty with me. That's how hard I tried. He said it was none of my affair. And you know, Janna, it really isn't.
Thank you, Michael.
You see how bucked Marcus is about school. I'm sure when...
Did Mark send a message to me?
Just that he'll be down in a couple of days to take Marcus to school.
That fat man in the coach, of course. Hooray! Quick, Mama, come and see the king. Hooray!
Marcus! Marcus? Marcus? What is it, my love? Oh, darling, don't cry, please. If you don't want to go, you don't have to. It's all right.
Curlers, take the boy onto the platform.
No.
Wait. Yes, yes.
Please.
Send a porter for his traps.
Mark, please.
In future, you will say goodbye to him at Penmarric without any ill-bred...
Oh, Mark, please. Please have me come to the train.
Certainly not. You wait here. You've done him enough harm. Furthermore, after Christmas, I want your assurance of this, Janna. When I come to take Philip to school, you will have him prepared for it.
How do I do that?
Prepare yourself, then. I've told you, I want no more vulgar scenes.
Mark, can't we stop this? Can't you see that I'm sick of you? This constant sneering. In the little time you do spend at
Little
Penmarric.
time, I thought I was doing you a kindness by leaving you alone as much as possible.
A kindness? Is that what you think it is?
Of course. Plain, you find my company unbearable, but you no longer love me.
No, I've never said that. You've never heard me say that. I couldn't.
You don't have to, do you? You demonstrate it so well there.
Sorry. I'm sorry you can't see that your own behavior may make it
have the
impossible
truth,
for me
for
to
God's
be as
sake. You can't forget Rose Parish. Or forgive me.
If you don't wish to share this room with me, I shall understand.
That's it, is it? That's how you wish it to seem. Very well. Sleep alone. But don't expect me to do the same.
Found you! Oh, Nanny! It's black. All black? No, it's got a white underneath. Red legs.
Red legs?
Red legs,
Oh, that
yes.
sounds interesting.
It's got a black beak. Ah! What I found! I don't know. I'm not sure. just here. There. It's got a streak of tin. Where, there? How do you know? Well, it's the right colour.
Tell us what they did, Jack. Did they burn you at the stake or anything like that? Inquired Linda. No, Linda. They simply kept me a prisoner till the gifts that is superstitious. And believe, no doubt, as I have always heard, that the unexplored land is the happy hunting ground. But they are great rascals, all the same.
Well, sir, what do you say?
Is it near the sea?
You've been told that. It's not near the sea. There are no moors. Look at me, not your mother. There are no moors. There are no...
Please, Philip.
No, understand me, sir. I'm not asking you whether you wish to go. I'm telling you, like it or not, you go to school with Marcus after Christmas. Do you understand me, sir?
I'll run away.
Speak up.
I'll run away. Philip. I'll run away! I'll run away!
Very well. If you do, I shall give you the biggest hiding of your life.
I don't care.
Now go to your room. Stay there till you're called. You're not coming down?
No. I'll say goodbye to you.
Very sensible. Listen to them. Told you that young devil would come round to it in the end. You're a goose, my dear. Silly goose. You're like a drug. I want you most when I must need you least. Thank you.
Come again soon, please.
Of course. As soon as I can. Oh, should have told you. What do you think? I'm taking a house in Oxford.
A house? But you've chambers there. Why do you need a house?
Chambers are so damned inconvenient for entertaining. I'll write you about it, I must go. The devils are getting out of hand down there. Goodbye, Janna.
Mark,
What is it?
I love you.
Of course.
Right you are, Carlos. Don't waste any time.
It's not ready yet. Now, look. Look at that. Go on,
What's that?
Griselda!
I'll be seeing to her.
The boy is waiting, madam, if there's to be a reply. Madam,
What?
the forms are here, or do you wish me to send the boy?
No, thank you. Madeline, thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Madeline,
Madam,
I think we should... When will Mr. Castallack receive that wire?
oh, this evening, madam, most certainly this
Then
evening.
I think we should expect him tomorrow. Would you tell Crowles?
I'll tell him to beat the train, yes, madam.
Poor lamb weren't no more than lonely, a little heartbreaking for a bit of love.
Oh, Griselda.
Where's my wife, Madeline?
In the morning room, sir.
Is this it? 3 days. 3 days?
4 now. The wire came yesterday.
Why the devil didn't they tell us at once?
He's run away before. I suppose they
He's run away before, and no one told...
Mark,
My God. Was that to be kept from me, too?
don't be a fool.
Oh, was it?
I've seen you once since Christmas, 4 months ago. Just for a day. We did nothing but quarrel. How could I tell you?
By letter, perhaps? Or didn't you think of that?
Of course I thought of it. But you write, when you write, of nothing but yourself, your own affairs. I couldn't just...
You're a fool, Janna. You're almost 44.
Then can we agree that I'm too damned old for your occasional sport in bed?
How many times has he run away?
Twice before. But they always found him the same day, a few miles from the school.
It's your fault, you know that, don't you?
Are you going to Penzance, lad?
If you please. Will you take me to Penmarric?
Come on, climb up. All right. Look, what are you doing out there?
And before that?
A gypsy. A gentleman in a carriage. And another carter.
All the way from Surrey?
Yes, sir.
Without money?
Yes, sir.
How did you eat?
I asked, sir.
Asked? Asked whom?
People, sir.
What people?
Mark, please.
Look at me! What people?
In cottages, sir.
You begged for food.
I asked, sir.
What is your name?
Sir? Philip Castallack, sir.
Your name is Philip Castallack, and you begged for food at cottage doors.
I was hungry, sir.
Do you recall what I said I would do if you ran away from school?
Yes, sir.
Half-term's over. Soon be over for the summer. Anyway, in your condition...
Next term, Marcus will be spending his half with friends and...
It's no consequence to me. Why are you asking?
Philip wants your permission. May he spend his next half-term with me?
Why not?
Not here at Penmarric, somewhere else.
You may do as you please.
Thank you. Oh, one thing more.
Yes?
If our child's a girl, may I call her Elizabeth?
Oh, nice and fresh, hot taters. Morning, young sir. Like a tater warm up bit, then? Any chicken one tonight?
Small one, please.
Small one. There's a nice one over there, like that one? There's a nice one, isn't it, eh? On your hands, look it up there, good. You got plenty of money, ain't you?
Your cap. Go away. Go away.
Good evening, Mrs. Castallack. Sir?
Oh, you shall take me, please.
Of course, sir. This way, madam. Sir?
There's Papa! Look! Over there! Are those people this way? Ma? Who was that lady? Who were those boys? Mama? Did you know Papa was in Brighton?
Please, Philip.
Are you crying?
No.
Who are those people, Papa?
Why did you bring the boy here?
I wanted to come. You said I could spend this half-term with Mama.
Thank you. Now hold your tongue. Leave the boy in your room and come to my suite.
Go to hell.
Do as I say.
Leave her alone! Stop it!
It's all right. It's all right, darling. Don't worry. I'll explain.
10 minutes, then. Suite 5. Please, do sit down.
We have nothing to say to each other.
Made it clear after Marcus went to school...
After you left him alone on the train.
Nonsense, I left him with the guard.
Because humiliating me was more important.
You made it clear that the one thing we had in common, the one thing that held us together, was finished.
I told you there was more for you at Penmarric than my bed.
And by denying me that
Is
right...
that it? I've hurt your masculine pride.
You've given me grounds, of course. I'm obliged to be the gentleman. If I remain at Oxford without your consent, you can divorce me for adultery and desertion.
Mark? Oh, God. Oh...
Please admit you have thought of that.
No. I've told you that I love you.
One without the other would be an offence to any husband. Janna, you may stay at Penmarric after if you wish. That way you'd see the children.
See them? I'd take them away from that hateful place. We'd live at Roslin.
Leave Penmarric and you'll never see them again. Do you think any court would allow well-bred children to live in a shabby tenant farm?
They won't let them be brought up by your mistress.
They will, if it's a better environment. Furthermore, I intend to marry her.
Oh, no. No, Mark, you can tell that little cow that's all she can be, your mistress. I'll never divorce you.
You bitch! Damn bitch!
Mark. Please.
Sick. Silly pretense of gentility. I'm sick of hearing you say that you love me. You love nobody. You wanted nothing from me but money and position. Now you're prepared to give me nothing in return. There you are. I once bought you for 5 sovereigns. How much do I have to pay to be shot of you? Hmm? Go on. How much? How much? You are for sale, aren't you? Old Rosslyn bought you, didn't he? Then he married you. That made it proper. But he bought you all the same, didn't he? And he wasn't the first, was he, Janna? How many others? How many other men? I mean, did you get into my father's bed for love alone? Or was it the fact that his money enabled you to stay on at the farm? And me? What happened to those 5 sovereigns, Janna? It must have hurt you to let them lie. I was so damn besotted with you, I didn't see that trick. You knew I'd want more. You wouldn't be content. What did you think, hmm? What luck? What incredible luck! A few nights of romping and you'd be lady of the manor. Well, a lady is something you would never be, Janna. Do you know why? Because you're a whore. A whore!
Mark, let me go.
Let me go. Divorce me.
Never.
Why? You don't love me. You can't love me.
I hate you.
Good. Now we have something in common. Divorce me.
No, you can't make me do one single thing I don't want to.
Can't I?
No, don't touch me.
Why? I'm your husband, aren't I?
Keep away from me.
You hypocrite.
Mark.
Damn hypocrite.